lineup?
Yeah.
Same starting lineup?
Regardless of who is starting, have you been satisfied that the bench has been able to sustain what you try to do over a 48-minute period?
Well, I think over the course of the whole year, it's probably been, as far as numbers go, pretty productive, right? So I think that obviously I think we can play better as a team, and that's really our focus. I think, a lot of time and energy can be spent talking about starters and bench, and we just have to talk about our team and playing a little bit better on both sides of the ball. We got a little closer to that on Monday. We'll be challenged in that way in a lot of ways tonight, so we'll see how we do.
Coach, when you see a team switch their starting lineup as much as the Knicks have done, and then in terms of that, their offensive principles can change slightly from night to night, how do you scout a team like that?
Well, I wasn't all that surprised last night. I kind of wondered if they would do that with how the Orlando first quarter went and how they then came back with those guys. And I just think, the one thing is I don't think as coaches, sometimes you don't worry as much about who's starting. And you worry more about, like, how can you play well and how can you play your best. I thought the Knicks played great last night. And barring just a couple of free throws going in or a layup here or there, and Portland not making all those tough shots, they win the game. And so they played great, and we're going to have to be good tonight.
Brad, Rozier and Brown both showed signs of kind of coming out, slump Monday. Did you like what you saw out of them? And
yeah, I thought they played pretty well. I think that, it's not about, what you do on one day right now. It's about how can we piece this thing together and make it go and go and go and go and go. And as a team, that's what we're all searching for. And but I was encouraged, but those guys have done encouraging things all the way through, and there's going to be ups and downs with guys. It's just the way it goes. But if we can build a little bit more consistency as a group, so that we're not all down on certain days, that'd be helpful.
The idea with Aaron starting to have a little bit more of that defensive presence inside early, and then a little bit more offense coming off the bench with Gordon in that second.
There's a lot of factors that go into those calls. If you looked at our rankings right now, you would say, why would you start a defender with the first group? Because the first group's guarding great, the second group's guarding great, but I think it allows guys to play on offense in their more natural positions, and there's a comfort level to that. And as we continue to be more, as we continue to try to grow and get to the best version of ourselves, we're going to have to be able to play both ways. We're going to have to be able to play small. We're going to have to be able to play big. But maybe guys can find a little bit more of a flow to that.
And is the closing lineup still kind of a feel, eye test thing for you, or do you have a general idea going into each game if you're winning, losing, close games?
Usually a feel.
Coach, what have you seen that has taken Tim Hardaway Jr.'s abilities to the next level this season? 3 straight 30-plus point games.
You started to see that towards the end of his time in Atlanta, and I think that his talent, work ethic, and opportunity is not a surprise. He's a really good player. He can drive it right, he can drive it left, he can pull up on a dime, he can run and shoot, he can come off screens and shoot. He's a tough guy to guard.
How has Jason Tatum progressed recently? Seems to have found more of an offensive rhythm.
Yeah, he's attacking the basket more. If he attacks the basket, I think that the more that we can get him attacking the basket, the more threat of going to the free throw line, the more threat of drawing multiple defenders for kickouts. And I just think that opens up everything for everybody. He's such a talented offensive guy. That's a huge thing for us as a team. As you know, we haven't been great in the paint, and we certainly haven't gotten to the line. So we need our most talented offensive people to be able to get there. So
his decision-making, though, is that kind of, have you seen a change in that?
I think towards the end of the West Coast road trip and in the last few games, you can see that he's really starting to make good strides.